right. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you are living someone else's life, following other people's expectations, following other people's roles, what they've thrust upon you, following their rules, always trying to come up to somebody's expectations and not being judged by them? And yet, deep inside, there is a voice says that, hey, listen, maybe there is much more than this. Maybe there is more than I am doing. Now, that whisper, that feeling of restlessness that is there, it's only an indicator. It's not a problem. It is your real self telling you, hello, come out. It's time to meet the real you. So today's topic, guys, is how is what why self discovery, discovering yourself, is your superpower, and how, if you unlock that superpower, it will transform your life inside out. How wonderful is that? So, see, from the moment we are born, the conditioning or indoctrination process begins. And it begins with a lot of love. There's no doubt on that. So, we are trained to look outside of ourselves, for validation. So, if you get good grades, then it means you're smart. Whether you're interested in the subject or not. If you obey the rules, then you're a good guy. If you get a job, you get a car, you get a house, then you are successful. And a whole lot of other things that are told to you, that you better be like this, you better be like that, otherwise you will be no good. And look at that fellow, he's no good. Or look at that fellow, how good he is, etc., etc. Now, here's a problem with that. When our whole identity, when our self-identity is built only on external validation, outside people telling us that we are good, we begin to forget our inner truth. Some of us end up chasing careers that we don't love. Some of us stay in relationships that don't nurture us. Life feels like a to-do list instead of the daring adventure that it can be. Now think, when you pause, when you look inwards, and when you ask a very, very bold question, who am I really? When you ask this question, who am I really, you may begin a journey that no one can take away from you. But everybody will benefit from it. So, I think when you ask that question, the process of self-discovery will begin. So, what is self-discovery? Now, it is not something, one time when you get, I discovered it. It's not like that. Maybe it's a lifelong, unfolding of your real, authentic self. It is understanding your values, what you truly stand for, your wounds, where healing is required, maybe your strengths, knowing your real strengths, what makes you really powerful, your patterns, patterns that keep you stuck. It is realizing that I'm not my past, I'm not my fears, I'm not even my job title. Self discovery is connecting to the essence of who you really are before the world told you who you should be. And there is magic that will happen once you discover your true self. Life may not get easier, but you definitely get stronger. And I can say that because my whole life from 1982 onwards has been about self discovery. Then you stop reacting, you start responding. Normally, what's happening with us is we start shrinking. So, when you are on this journey of self discovery, you stop shrinking, you start expanding. You stop seeking, you start expanding. You start getting closer to the infinite being that you are. Now, I use this word superpower. So, why do we call this a superpower? Because once you have truly met your real self, you become unshakable, you become unstoppable in this world that is always trying to block you. You will make choices from clarity and not from confusion. See, knowing your true self also tells you what you really desire, not what the world is expecting you to desire. At that point, you no longer fear being alone. You're not afraid to be alone because you have met your greatest companion. And who's that? You. Now, there have been many, many great visionaries, great leaders, great change makers, people like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, even people like Steve Jobs, or spiritual leaders like Buddha, or like Sri Ravi Shankar ji, or Sadhguru. All of them, they went inward first. First, they started looking within. They faced their dark self, they faced their shadows, they sat with a lot of discomfort. And when they came out with the truth, they came out with compassion, they came out with real power, not force, but power. That power was not handed over to them, they discovered it, they found it. And let me tell you something very, very interesting. Self discovery turns your inner world into a source of energy, purpose, and resilience. No one can steal it, no one can fake it, no one can give it to you. It's yours, you will claim it. Once you claim it, you become unstoppable. Nothing will stop you. And it is not because you know everything, you don't. But because you finally trust yourself. Your relationship with yourself becomes one of honor, trust, allowance, gratitude, vulnerability. You don't have to be somebody else to validate yourself. Now, this journey, believe me, is not comfortable. Not always comfortable. Sometimes it is, sometimes it is not. So, what it would require from us is the courage to face our fears. And we have a lot of them, humility to admit where you went off track, compassion, or else compassion to forgive yourself. But it brings something also. It brings you freedom from old limitations. It gives you the joy of simply being you and not trying to be someone else. And I think the most important thing is you start alignment with what really matters the most to you. You may lose the approval of others. They may say, okay, what is this crazy fellow? What is he up to? You may lose their approval. But what you gain is authenticity. What you gain is power. What you gain is true love for yourself and the world around you. Because when we can stop proving, then we can start loving. Can you imagine living with a person who you love and you always have to keep proving yourself that I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay? That won't be much of a love, is it? It'll be more like proving that I'm worthy of your love. So when you get to that state of self discovery, you gain that authenticity. Now, it's possible that you may lose your comfort because you will be out of your comfort zone most of the time. But what I think we get in return is clarity. You will definitely lose the need to impress anybody, but you will gain inner peace. And believe me, it is worth it. So, how about we start the process right now, today? So, a couple of very, very simple starting points, my friends. The first one is pause and reflect every day. Just for 5 minutes, ask yourself, what am I feeling? What do I desire? What matters to me today? So ask this for 5 minutes. What am I really feeling? What do I desire? What matters to me? What's important for me today? Trust me, awareness is the first step to reclaiming our power. Second point, become curious instead of being judgmental. So, this constant judging, right, wrong, good, bad, agree, disagree thing, right? When you stop that, so when you notice a reaction or a fear or a pattern, don't say, what's wrong with me? That's a judgment. Always say, what is it? What is this showing me about myself? Any situation that happens which you don't like fear, anger, or any repetitive pattern in life, don't say, what's wrong with me? Ask, what is this particular situation showing me about myself? And live with this belief. Every experience is an opportunity for me to become a better version of myself. Point number 3, always choose alignment over approval of the others. See, in every decision that we make decisions, right? We make choices, right? Small choices, big choices. Ask yourself, is this truly me Or am I doing it to be liked, accepted, or to be safe? Why am I doing it? Am I doing it so that others like me? Am I doing it because other people accept me? Am I doing it in order to feel safe and secure? Now, these three very, very small practices, my dear friends, will lead to massive transformation over a period of time. But you have to do it daily, or at least, if not daily, at least every other day. And remember one thing, guys, to discover or know yourself, maybe good to remember a few things. It's good to remember what your soul already knows. And you know what that is? Your soul knows that you're whole and complete. Your soul knows that you are powerful. You're not here to fit into people's expectations. You're here to shine, to be the bright star that you were born to be. So when you know yourself, you get out of the survival mode. You get into the create mode. You shift from survival to creation. You lead, you uplift, you inspire others. So, my invitation to all of us is to look at self discovery not as some hobby or a pastime or a luxury, but the journey of self discovery is your greatest superpower. Because when you know who you are, you will get out of your default mode. You will get into the create mode. How wonderful is that? Getting out of the default mode and getting into the create mode when you embark on a journey of self discovery. So let's open this up to discussion or any sharing, anything that comes up for you after listening to all this. Yes, Captain Saab.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, morning.
Whatever words today you said, it's like coming from a. It's like reading a book, sir. It's making me think so much. It's all words of wisdom. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. And by the way, this work that we've been doing over 1474 sessions is all a part of the self discovery process.
Absolutely.
Being in the EMC is a part of the self discovery purpose. And I want to repeat one clearing just now. I'll just come to you in a minute, Major Narayanan. What have you made so vital, valuable, and real about your judgments, your conclusions, your decisions, and your computations and your strategies that will never allow you to live a life of infinite possibilities and everything that is times a godzillion? Will you destroy and uncreate all of that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all 100 shorts, boys, forwards, creations, bases, and beyonds. You get out of that polarity, and we've been working constantly to do that. But you know what? Instead of taking everything that you hear and converting it into a new conclusion, we use it as a stepping stone to discover ourselves. Then the power will come. Yes, Major Saab, go ahead.
Morning, sir. I
Morning to you.
feel supercharged, turbocharged. the right frame of mind to start the week, sir. Full of energy and wisdom, and to take on the brave new world and get on with my routine life for this week, sir.
Well,
Thank you,
it's
sir.
not going to, you can't call it routine anymore. In any case, you don't have a routine life, my friend. You have a totally unroutine life, if you ask me.
Sir.
But you
I
think
feel
it's
full of
routine,
energy,
good
sir.
for you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And thank you for all your contributions to the world.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anybody else has some? Hi, Neeti. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. So, listening to this, suddenly I get a very strong anchored feel. So, it's like all that was going on around has instantly shut off. So, thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Malika ji, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I feel that I do also in the discovery mode many times after reading a lot of books from small childhood onwards. But why I didn't create many things, whatever I felt. It's all because I was reacting to others. Even though I'm not ready to satisfy others, I was reacting to others. So how do remove that? That is making into completely creating. That's what now I started thinking within myself.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, for me, today's session, I was thinking it's actually giving you the real perspective about what this EMC is all about. Yeah. Those of you who are old, what is the purpose of the EMC? To free you from the influence of the circumstances, to shift you from the default mode into the create mode. And one unstated purpose is to keep us on this voyage of self-discovery, to discover that we are whole and complete and powerful human beings. Great. So who else? What time is it? 5 minutes. Okay. Yes, Vetriver.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Very powerful. I got two insights which I feel like sharing with the friends. One is play the role, don't become the role. The stuckness, from my experience, I see, instead of playing the roles, many roles of my life, I became that roles and I'm just trying to prove that I'm better like that. And that likeness gone. Second thing, quickly, it's from a comedy. One master is asking a servant, did you do this, did you do this? He's telling all the work, not doing, not doing, not doing. Why you are not doing? Because you have told me frequently. So like that, we get a lot of methods, but instead
what did he
of
say?
doing one deeper, we analyze everything, we stop doing anything. So
I missed
got
that.
wonderful clarity.
Vetrivel, I missed that answer. What was the answer that the servant gave?
The answer is you keep on telling other words. Next work, next work, next work. So he is using that as an excuse. I take that as an input, like instead of taking one method and going deeper and finding myself, I keep collecting methods and just analyzing and being happy. I got a wonderful input set, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm so glad you discovered it finally, something which I've been trying to tell you for a while now. Congratulations and thank you for sharing that, my friend. Okay, so time for. So first of all, thank you very much for being there again. And let every session contribute to each and every one of us. So thank you, thank you, thank you.